guy. So I'm proud of him. I'm not really upset. Even like
Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
So I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
And Terence Crawford, continue to be great. Continue to do you.
What happens when time gets too much for the best boxer of his generation? When someone calls into question the man who used to be in charge of every section, camera out and dollar sign. Money Mayweather had that moment live when he yelled at Terence Crawford and said, "I'm still better." People all over the internet went crazy because this wasn't just a rage. Floyd Mayweather, the unbeatable king, finally spoke out about the man who many people see as the new face of boxing. The same man who beat Canelo Alvarez not long ago and turned boxing on its head. But to know why Floyd did what he did, you need to go back a bit. Floyd Mayweather was unbeatable for a long time. It's a perfect record with 50 wins and no losses. The person who made defense look like art. Millions of people look like nothing and history look easy.
I had 70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Then Terence Bud Crawford came along. He was a fighter made of the same stuff, but for a different time. Crawford didn't want to be famous. His goal was to be great. And everything changed when he beat Canelo Alvarez. There was more to Crawford than just being a winner. He turned into a man. This fighter was said to have been able to beat even Floyd in his prime.
It's in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Take a look at this. Canelo fought both of them when they were at their best. Floyd taught Canelo when he was young without a doubt, but Crawford easily beat him in 2024. But didn't just win, he crushed. He made the bigger man look like any other guy.
Crawford had the ability to fight backwards and stay composed, good defense, hands was always up, countering everything that Canelo was throwing at him. He was just a little more active fight. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford.
I think some of what we saw from Canelo is what he's has to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile. It's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights. That same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him.
He did not allow Canelo to get inside, man. As soon as Canelo would get into that certain range, you would jab him. We didn't see any lateral moves where he would throw, push off to the side, as we used to see Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo was almost smothering his shot because he couldn't stay at range with him. And Terence Crawford runs off counter combinations. It would be a wider margin if they fought.
When asked who was the better fighter between Mayweather and Crawford after the fight, Canelo didn't think twice. He said that things are better for Crawford.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Everyone in the fighting world was shocked by what he said. It wasn't just a compliment. It was a straight attack on Mayweather's good name. Everything changes if the person Floyd built part of his story on now says Crawford is the tougher opponent.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, very obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
but a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
Your prime is in your 20s.
it's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But I mean, don't you? I mean,
want to make himself look like he did something.
Floyd's whole success was based on being perfect. Not a single loss, weakness, or match exists. But some people began to wonder if Crawford really could beat Mayweather. Could he be the only boxer who can beat the best of all time? Floyd began to change after that. He began to hint first quietly and then out loud. He started to say things like, "I still have it, and I could come back if I wanted to in interviews." At first, Floyd's fans thought he was just being himself. However, the news that shocked everyone came out. Floyd Mayweather was talking about getting back into the ring for real.
hell.
Not
And
just
the only
for show.
time he spent Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favorite? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ron keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
There was a lot of talk about Terence Crawford. Floyd had a point to make. It was important for him to tell everyone that Crawford will never be Money Mayweather, no matter what he does, how many titles he wins, or who he beats.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
But Floyd already had another name on his list
Mayweather had a tough
before he
life
could
living-
even think about fighting Crawford. It was Mike Tyson. They will go up against each other in an exhibition in April of next year.
If you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior welterweights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference.
It's not about belts or records either. It's about being proud. As Mayweather knows, Tyson doesn't respect Mayweather. He thinks Floyd is cocky and has never been brave enough to take big risks. Also, Tyson said he would reveal him to the whole world.
If you could have fought any fighter, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to fight him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting answer.
He's very delusional. He can't listen. If he was anywhere near that realm of Great Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself. He can't take his kid to school by himself. And he's talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
But let's be honest, the fight between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson is already making a mess in the fighting world. Fans call it a circus show and say it's not a real fight, but just another money fight.
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
awesome
Floyd?
Fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like you was a movie star. You was a hero.
Some people say that Mike Tyson, who is 56 years old, shouldn't be back in a ring, especially against Floyd, who is still quick, smart, and full of energy. They're not wrong either. Without a doubt, it's controversial.
And Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
People didn't like Jake Paul after his fight with Tyson, and Floyd is about to get the same reaction. But let's talk about it. In the event that Floyd beats Tyson as planned, he could change the story. That win could be the start of his story of redemption. Another chance for him to show that he's still strong, and it could set up the long-awaited fight with Terence Crawford.
It's just shit, isn't it? I mean, like, let's be honest, like, I hate, in a way, and I know people go, oh, you can talk, you fuck. I just hate some things that are happening in boxing. Like, I don't mind if some, you know, like even Jake Paul, I don't mind Jake Paul. I think he's a young guy who's taking boxing seriously. I think he's improving. I think he's doing training camps. But why would you want, how old's Mayweather? 50? You got a, what?
Maybe a little bit.
How old's Floyd Mayweather? 48. You lot don't even know. You're supposed to be boxing. Yeah, I know, yeah. But all right, 48, 49, whatever. I was going to say, that's old. It's 2 years older than me. Right, what I'm saying is, who wants to watch a 48, 49-year-old Floyd Mayweather fight a 60-year-old Mike Tyson? It's just bullshit. Like, and as much as I love money, I just wouldn't do that. Because I actually, whether you believe me or Pete, you believe me, I love boxing too much. I think it's disgusting. It's just so shit. Like, who wants to watch that? Yet people will watch it, so I understand. But it's just like, I just find it.
That's why Floyd's latest outburst was so painful. He told everyone live, "I'm still better." You could tell that those comments were made out of anger. Trust wasn't there. It was a desperate act. He wasn't there, but he still watched the game, seeing Crawford become the public face of the sport. And this is a nightmare for a man who has built his reputation on not being touched. But let's be honest, Crawford has a record that speaks for itself. He has never lost in 2 separate weight divisions. No one else is in his league. He's played against the best names in the world and not only beat them, he crushed them. He's one of the few fighters who can easily change positions in the middle of a round.
That fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and like, hey, this is not, we're going to have fun, we're going to throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to get the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an exciting event.
Floyd once said that Crawford's style made him think of himself. You need to be patient, flexible, and able to read your opponents like a book. But here's the thing. Floyd never had the drive to finish. Crawford is one. He doesn't just win.
That, like, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room, or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man.
Fans are now asking if Crawford is the next Floyd Mayweather because Mayweather doesn't believe in evolution. That question itself is rude to him. There is only copying. These men learn from me, he said. This is what they do because they watch me. So how can they get better?
Is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going out that much.
Now,
Floyd does something wrong here, though. Crawford isn't trying to be like Mayweather. He doesn't want Floyd's money or fame. He wants something more important. He wants to leave a memory. He's not fighting for the news, but for history, and that's what makes them different. Floyd has always picked money. At the same time, Floyd is fighting a war he has never been in before. Not important. People like Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and even Jake Paul are now getting the same amount of public attention as he did. I'm still better, Floyd said. It wasn't just aimed at Crawford. It was a message to fans, the media, and the next generation that is still trying to make things better. He wants people to remember that he's still alive.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in this fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master. Yeah, his IQ in that
The
sense
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta
Can't
have an
say
OG
everybody-
somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer, right?
Yeah, you gotta. There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere, and I just
yeah.
believe Floyd is that OG you can't out.
I agree with some of what he says. Floyd Mayweather will always be thought of as one of the smartest boxers. His ring IQ is the best there is. His footwork, defense, and handling are all very good. He didn't need to be powerful to win. He hit you in the head before he even hit you. If this fight
Through
happens,
hell. And the only
results will be
time he
very
spent with his
different for
father
each
was when
man. Floyd has nothing to lose. There will never be another him after he beats Crawford, the man who beat the pound-for-pound king after 50 years away. People will just say he is too old if he loses. Crawford, on the other hand, is in grave trouble. Some people will say he beat a retired legend if he wins. On the other hand, he will lose everything he has worked for. That's what's so exciting about this fight. You need to know more than just hits and titles. It's about being proud. It's about times past. When one man tries to protect his crown, another man says it is already his.
Both Canelo and Mayweather, you fought them both. Who did you think was better, Canelo or Mayweather? I know that's Canelo was saying it was Crawford better than Mayweather.
I was very impressed with Canelo at 21, but Mayweather was still technically more sound. I think Crawford is better. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. But Mayweather is definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Talking of Crawford, do you think he's better than Mayweather after his win over Canelo Alvarez?
No, I don't think nobody is better than Mayweather. No. So,
What do you think he needs to do to eclipse the likes of the greats in Mayweather, Ali? Do you think it's possible?
I'm not saying he is a great fighter. He's great in his own right. But to ask me, is he like better than Mayweather? I don't think no one is better than Floyd Mayweather. Like no one. If we talking about fast process, if we talking about speed, if we talking about punch accuracy, if we talking about punch selection, if we talking about poisonous, God forbid we talking about defense. There's not too many that come close. They can't even carry his jockstrap. Floyd Mayweather's on another level, and we shouldn't forget that since we haven't seen him in the ring in some time.
The irony is this, though. The end of Floyd's and Crawford's stories is sad no matter what happens next. And maybe, just maybe, each of them is right. Floyd was the best player ever, but Terence Crawford is the best player right now. I saw you before the Crawford-Canelo fight, and your hat was a Cavaliers one. You have a goat hat on this time. Do you feel this way? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but does that describe how you feel? And yes, I really do feel that way, man. Greatness lasts forever. You need to give it to him. You need to give it to him. You should give it to his teachers. Not only did I help, but Red, Bernie, Chad, the dietitian, and others did too. Canelo said that he is much better than Mayweather. What do you think about that? Who? Terence? Yes, of course.
He rank now, all time. Ending this interview.
Number one, and the only one that he got at top is Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Terence Crawford is this generation guy. You get what I'm saying? Accomplishing all the goals that he accomplished.
Matched up? How do they match up, Floyd and Terence?
Hey, I'm like this, man. It's going to be great because Floyd, he's about his work. He put in work. We've been watching it for decades. You know what I'm saying? Him coming out of retirement to do this fight. That's a win for the whole world boxing. Every generation from Floyd generation to this generation didn't get to see the come. That's just like we never get to see Michael Jordan play, right? But we remember when he used to play. Come on.